Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act, head up, that's a fact. Never looking back, I'ma keep myself on track. Keep my head up, staying strong, always moving on. Feel I don't belong, tell my thoughts to move along. Push myself to be the best, die with no regrets. Live with every breath, see my message start to spread. And I had so many dreams, then you hit your teens. Life ain't really what it seems, try to find out what it means. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act, head up, that's a fact. Never looking back, I'ma keep myself on track. Keep my head up, staying strong, always moving on. Feel I don't belong, tell my thoughts to move along. Push myself to be the best, die with no regrets. Live with every breath, see my message start to spread. And I had so many dreams, then you hit your teens. Life ain't really what it seems, try to find out what it means. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only a path, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to win. I don't want no fake love, I want the real stuff. Everybody listen up, cause I'll only say it once. I'm gonna show you all the path, if you want it bad. I'm gonna show you where it's at, yeah, how you can get it back. Yeah, cause I ain't never done, I'll be number one. Working hella hard until I get just what I want, yeah. Rises like the sun, yeah, fatal like a gun. Shooter's gonna shoot and I'm gonna shoot until I've won, yeah. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. Grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only a path, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to win, yeah.
Hey everybody, sorry for the extra long intro. I need to stop turning off my intro song before it ends. I usually have my phone set up on the right side of my laptop, and instead I put it in the middle where the mouse pad is and turned off the intro again. So I need to figure out something with my phone because that's now happened twice in as many days. And Kathy, I did see your message earlier, so I did move my live to 6 because I was ready. I just wanted to make sure I had enough time because, as many of you may or may not know, Blank Screen had his first live stream today, and I was honored to be on his panel with Sinner and the Glarer, and to hear Blank Screen's voice is just surreal. So the last time I checked, he was still live. And I remember him saying, like, he would probably only be on for, like, 30 minutes to an hour, and I think it's been over 2 hours now. So, I mean, it's just so cool. And Cash, thank you so much for and actually, I think I have to look it on my phone. Oh, it's just an X. Okay. Thank you for the super chat. You did not have to do that, but I do appreciate it. And I did want to I haven't been able to rewatch my entire live from last night. However, I was informed that I missed several super chats or super stickers, and I do want to apologize for not acknowledging them. As many of you know, I was over an hour behind in chat yesterday, and I would never have caught up. So I just hit the button to bring me all the way to the bottom of chat, and I should have went to my starred messages and, thanked everyone for anything that they gave, and I didn't. But I will make that situation right the next time I go live. Hey, JLL, Barbie, Team Brittany, yes, thank you. Live chat. Always make sure, and actually I probably should make sure. Oh yeah, I am on my phone. I am on the right thing. Kelsey, hello. Cool Gamer. Tracy Esme, Petunia. Queen Bella. Hey, Kathy. SoFlo. Yes, Kathy, and I actually saw some, like, there are going to be some images that we see today. It's tragic that 2 individuals lost their lives. The fact that more than that didn't, to me, is nothing short of a miracle, because that bus, I mean, I don't even know how to describe it. Hey, Spitfire. Rizzo's wife. Yes, and everyone's gonna know Pookie now because Spitfire is Pookie. Sinner, as always. Beer Can Island. Good timing. I just had dinner and Mookie is fed. Perfect. Yes. True Jedi Forever. Hello. Sunshine. Hey, Gypsy Lady. Oh, Kathy. So the song I use is from Neffex, Neffex, and they have a bunch of stuff that is royalty free, that it'll still be copyright claimed, but it doesn't affect your monetization or anything like that. But it is hard because even some of the songs that I found for my videos that said they were copyright free, because they sound so much like the original, I still get the copyright claim. Yes, Blink was awesome. Oh, Kathy, you didn't even realize it. Yes, I did. I was like, it's fine. I mean, I was ready. I was just gonna be, piddling around anyways. Hey, Dutch Oma. Angel, Lavender, T-Berry, Crime Traveler. Oh no, why were you in the ER? The ER, and that's the thing, the emergency room is supposed to be for emergencies, and you end up sitting around for however long. It's so crazy. Hey, Misty Dawn. Cindy, hello. Oh my gosh, Kathy, I've seen some of them. There's one that I want, but it's clearly I can't have it because it's already somewhere else, but his work is incredible. Hey, Turtle. All right, so thank you everyone for hanging out. I appreciate it. If I did not say hi to you, hello. We are going to, we as a group are going to watch me. There was several updates in the charter bus crash that was carrying a marching band from Farmingdale High School, and 2 individuals did lose their lives. One was the band director, and the other was a retired teacher who was chaperoning the trip. It was the first bus out of 6, and it, as for those of you who may not know the story, I do have a recap video that I had shown on my earlier live on this, so that way everybody can be up to speed. And then I have a few short videos, including a press conference that the NTSB had done last night. So actually, I never put my banner up. And all right, let me add this. All right, so we're gonna get started here. Oh, let me see what Queen Bella said. My doctor made me go because I had a really high heart rate and have been dealing with dizziness for a couple weeks. She had me scared to death because she was worried it was a heart attack. Oh my gosh. It's always better to be, safe than sorry. So definitely glad that you got it checked out. But the fact that it was your heart and you still had to be there for 6 hours, like that just seems a little backwards. Hey, Outside the Box with Chloe Joe. Scorpio Sting, hello.
And as you would imagine, an emotional scene tonight outside of Farmingdale High School where the other buses have returned.
Students and parents and their friends gathered there to greet the students and also remember that beloved band director. CBS 2's Christy Kalishian joins us now live from the high school. Christy.
Christine Maurice, neighborhood streets here were lined with not only parents here anxiously waiting to pick up their kids coming from the other 5 buses in that caravan, but with neighbors here expressing their love and support for these families who truly need it. And those we spoke with are also remembering those 2 lives tragically lost in this horrific crash.
We were all in denial. We were like, no way that could be our bus.
Sophomore Charlie Cartagena Caceres plays the sousaphone for Farmingdale High School's marching band. His friends sprinted over once they saw him after he got off the bus, hugging him tightly. Cartagena Caceres was on the bus behind bus 1.
And so here again is where the bus finally rested. And I did read that the embankment was 50 feet deep. So it was a 50-foot deep embankment where the bus ultimately came to a rest. Hey, Melissa Bell, Coco Puff, Chris, hello. Thanks for hanging out tonight.
Witness it falling into the ravine.
Everyone was anxious. Everyone started calling and texting their loved ones. Others started wondering who was on that bus, texting people that are on that bus, and we found out what some people went through. And then we saw teachers, chaperones.
And so here, this angle I hadn't seen before this video, because a lot of the news coverage from the day it happened was from the left side looking at it, and you can see just how mangled the front of the bus was, and just tragic all the way around.
Everyone's rushing down there to help the kids out.
Anthony Alvarado was one of many family members waiting to pick up their loved ones from the other buses on the caravan that arrived to Farmingdale High School. He says his freshman sister was originally supposed to be on bus 1, but made a last-minute switch to another.
And so this is the other side of the bus, so it came to a rest. It looks like against the other side of the embankment, and the front end is just, destroyed.
Her bus to be with her friends.
Thank God she wants to be with her friend first.
2 lives were lost on that bus, 43-year-old Gina Pelletieri and 77-year-old Beatrice Ferrari. Pelletieri was the band's beloved leader.
She was just dancing with the music. It was just, you really got to go back and see the performance where you can just see the love and the passion she had for the music and the kids. And she really made everybody feel so welcome. I don't want that to get missed in the midst of everything.
She was basically everything for the marching band. She led us, she hyped us up, she would get us excited for everything. And it's a true loss for the marching band.
I love Beatrice, and I didn't even know her for long.
Gianna Pro Solorzano is a junior at the high school and lives around the corner from Ferrari, who were here.
And so here, this gives a little bit of a better perspective of where exactly the bus came to a rest, and the left side of your screen is where the bus somehow lost control and slid into the embankment.
Was a retired history teacher from the high school and was also a chaperone on the trip.
If you would have a conversation with her, there's not one time where she wouldn't bring up band and everything. And she was just like such a sweet person. She would ask me about my schedule all the time.
And of course, this was traumatizing, even for students who were still here back at home, not even on that trip, just hearing what their classmates went through. And one student even told us earlier this afternoon he doesn't want to ride on a bus again after hearing what happened to his classmates. And there are 5 students in critical condition at the hospital tonight. And we're live on Farmingdale, Long Island. Christy Kalishian, CBS 2 News.
Hearts are breaking for that community tonight. Christy, thank you.
We're going to turn now to the latest on that deadly bus crash in Orange County.
Okay. Yes. And Sinner, if you want to drop your link, you can. So Sinner hasn't posted anything yet, but I'm excited because he will be soon, I hope. Oh no, what did I miss? Something Spitfire said. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry to hear that, Spitfire. Well, read that, I should say. Yeah, Scorpio Sting, I mean, again, I don't know how I would react in the situation because it hasn't happened to me, but I have been in a rollover car accident, and still to this day, I'm fearful that it's going to happen again. Now I have an SUV instead of a car, but, or a sedan, I should say, but I still get really nervous about it. So I can imagine that, the paranoia. Oh no, Spitfire, you're fine. You're fine. We're here to hang out and, get some updates, and yeah, you're fine. Listen, I get distracted all the time. So, we're just here to hang out and have a good time. Hey, Jima.
County, more than a dozen people are still in the hospital this afternoon
Hey,
after
Jeannie,
the
I
bus they
hope
were
you feel
riding in
better.
yesterday left the highway and then rolled down an embankment.
That bus filled with students and faculty from Farmingdale High School on Long Island on their way to band camp in Pennsylvania. And that's when the tragedy struck. The band director, Gina Pelletieri, and a retired...
And I will pause just to take the closed captioning off. So here is the band director is on the left. The retired teacher who was chaperoning is on the right. The retired teacher was 77 years old, and I believe the band director was 52, but do not quote me on that. I would have to look that up.
Retired social studies teacher Beatrice Ferrari. Both were killed.
Investigators say a blown flat.
And I was wrong. She was not 52. She was 43, which is only 2 years younger than me. And so, just both tragically lost their lives in this.
Tire likely caused the bus to tumble off I-84 in Wawanyanda yesterday afternoon.
And here is the front end. And just this image, I believe it's similar to the one I used for my thumbnail. You can see how, at least I can, the top of the bus towards the front was just, it was almost like smushed because of the impact. Hey, LaRue, how are you?
Five-member team from the NTSB arrived to the crash site this morning.
And then here's another angle from, and it does look like the back end actually had quite a bit of damage as well. Now that you can see, the full length of the bus, and they do have, even though their picture they have it a little off center, you can see where Farmingdale High School is here on Long Island. And they had been traveling, they were going to Greeley, Pennsylvania, but somewhere on the highway, tragedy occurred.
And in about a half an hour from now, the agency will be giving its first news conference on the tragedy.
And when that happens, you will see it live right here on Eyewitness News.
And I did read, I do have an article, but just to point this out, the driver did survive, and based on the article that I had read, police or the NTSB had not spoken to her yet, but we're planning on it.
It's on Channel 7. But right now, we want to get to our reporters in the...
Oh, shoot, and I meant to pause it. I didn't realize they were going to show that angle of the bus.
We want to get to our reporters in the...
Oh, and I missed it again. So
to cover this story, Anthony Carlo.
But you could see how it kind of was pushed sideways and down.
At Farmingdale High School, but we begin with Eyewitness News reporter Marcus Solis. He's at Westchester Medical Center. Marcus.
And Bill, the latest numbers right now, 13 patients remain hospitalized, 5 at Garnet Health in Wallkill and 8 here at Westchester Medical Center. We're also hearing from first responders who were at that scene yesterday and who are being credited with helping prevent this from becoming an even worse tragedy.
I'm a father, I have kids of my own, and it really was a difficult scene to process.
Sergeant Gregory Spock has been a state trooper for 21 years and says he's never seen anything like it. He was among the first to arrive on the scene of yesterday's fatal bus rollover on I-84. Spock says several students had already gotten themselves out, but others needed to be pulled to safety, carried on stretchers up the steep embankment that the bus had careened down.
The kids that were extremely hurt, some worse than others, and just, the feeling inside of we've got to get them to help. We've got to get them to help right away.
40 students from Farmingdale High School were on board, band members heading to a band camp weekend in the Poconos. 77-year-old Beatrice Ferrari, a retired teacher and chaperone on the trip, was killed, along with 43-year-old Gina Pelletieri, the band leader. Some students, like 15-year-old Anthony Eugenio, were asleep at the time, jolted into a real-life nightmare.
As soon as I picked my head up,
oops, sorry about that.
The kid next to me was covered in blood. I saw blood everywhere.
Overnight, crews uprighted the bus, which is now at State Police Barracks in Middletown. The NTSB part of the investigation. Governor Hochul says preliminary information.
Okay, so here you can see, it was hard to see in the videos that I had shown on my earlier live, but you can see the wire guide rail where the bus just careened over it.
Points to a blown right front tire as the cause. Meantime, 8 patients remain at Westchester Medical Center, the only level 1 trauma center in the Hudson Valley, which mobilized personnel knowing the accident involve children.
With all patients, but specifically with children, we have to understand that we're there not to just take care of the children as patients, but also their families and their parents as well. And certainly their special concerns and needs.
And so the patient breakdown here at Westchester Medical, 3 in serious condition, 5 are in good condition. And as we said, we are awaiting word from the NTSB as it takes the lead in this investigation.
Okay, so this is the press conference that the NTSB had done last night. And so, Jima, your question may be answered. They believed initially that a blown tire caused the bus to lose control and end up down the embankment. So we will definitely find out more answers with this press conference. And yes, blank screen. It was, I don't know if you were here. You were probably lurking, but maybe not, because when I went live, you were still live. And it was really cool. Definitely, starstruck, so to speak. Like, it's just surreal. That blank screen, we've actually heard blank screen's voice. So it was definitely really cool.
This is breaking news.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Maurice Dubois.
And I'm Christine Johnson. We interrupt Hot Bench to bring you breaking news in the deadly bus crash involving the Farmingdale High School band.
Right now, the National Transportation Safety Board giving us an update on the investigation. Devastating crash yesterday, killing 2 educators. And we're going to listen in here as they prepare to set up the National Transportation Safety Board.
And the state police will continue to work with all our partners at every level. I will not be providing an update at this time, as this is an NTSB briefing. However, any new updates will be posted on the New York State Police newsroom. At this time, I'd like to introduce Investigator in Charge John Hum from NTSB.
Thank you, Major. Appreciate it. Good afternoon. My name is John Hum, and I work with the National Transportation Safety Board, or the NTSB. I'm a survival factors investigator, and also for this case, I am the investigator in charge.
And hello, Selena, Cindy M. Coco Puff says, we had a school bus accident where I live. The driver felt so bad they ended up unliving themselves. Oh, the whole thing was so sad. One of the girls I coach was on the bus. Oh, it's so sad. Hey, Glow with Glow. No problem. Glad you're here. Wise Angel, hello. BK Sir.
So the NTSB is an independent federal agency that's been charged by Congress to investigate transportation accidents across all modes. So we're probably best known for our role in aviation accidents, where we are the primary authority to investigate any type of U.S. Aircraft crash. But we also have other divisions, which include railway, pipeline, and hazardous materials.
Hey, Thor, where have you been? Good to see you.
Marine, and then in my case, the Office of Highway Safety. So I'd just like to start by offering our condolences to the families and the victims of this terrible tragedy, and also just acknowledge the tremendous loss to the community. I'd also like to thank the New York State Police and the first responders, so the emergency responders. The NTSB has worked with the New York State Police in the past, and we've had tremendous cooperation from that agency. So we're looking forward to working with them. I'd like to stress right now that we have very little information. I myself just got here this morning, and we have 2 other investigators that are still en route. I will, however, read a very basic background, which I believe many of you have right now, and I'm just going to read through it. At about 1:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time, or Eastern Daylight Time, on Thursday, September 21st, 2023, A motor coach operated by Regency Transportation was transporting 40 high school students and 4 adults from Farmingdale, New York School District. The planned destination was a band camp in Greeley, Pennsylvania. The motor coach was traveling westbound on Interstate 84, or I-84, near Wauwauwanda in Orange County, New York. In this vicinity, I-84 is a 4-lane divided highway with a speed limit of 55 miles per hour with a depressed earthen median. The motor coach departed the travel lane, penetrated a roadside cable barrier, and came to rest on its left side in the median. According to local law enforcement, the left front tire experienced a failure. As a result of the crash, multiple occupants were ejected from the motor coach and 2 received fatal injuries. The remaining occupants were transported to area hospitals for treatment of various injuries. So our team consists of 7 people, and that includes 2 family assistants from Family Assistance, and we expect to be here for about 5 to 7 days. So about our investigation, the NTSB, we're conducting a parallel safety investigation into this collision with the cooperation of the New York State Police. Our investigation is not meant to supersede or replace the New York State Police investigation into this matter. Our goal is to find out what happened, why it happened, and to make safety recommendations to reduce the chance that this sort of accident never happens again. We will not be determining the probable cause at this time. So specifically, we're looking into 3 general factors. They are the vehicle factors. So we have an investigator for each factor. A vehicle factors, so he's going to go in and examine some of the any mechanical issues with the bus. We'll look at the tires, obviously.
Hey, Marcy.
And then we have a motor carrier factors investigator. He's going to look at the operation of the drivers and the motor carrier. So we'll be looking into how they comply with the federal regulations. And then there's my position, which is survival factors. So we look at the general crashworthiness of the bus, the restraint usage, the occupant injuries, and then the emergency response. So that's all I have right now, but I'll be happy to open the floor to any questions that are limited to factual information. I just ask if you could just please introduce yourself, maybe tell me your affiliation. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it kind of this way. I'm going to start here, work my way this way, and then we'll do it like an NFL draft lottery. I'm going to go back that way. So these people get twice the chance. How's that? Go ahead.
Sarah Wallace, WNBC TV. Have you spoken with the driver? What is his condition?
So the question is, have we spoken with the driver and what is her condition? No, we have not spoken to the driver yet, but that is definitely something that we plan to do. We just haven't had the chance to do that yet.
Condition of the driver?
Again, we just got here and I am not up to date on her condition, but that's probably best for you to ask maybe some of the local agencies about her status.
Hey, Lurker.
Yeah,
John Edwards, Newsday. What was the situation of seatbelts, and were you aware of any of the students or adults were wearing seatbelts during the crash?
Yeah, so seatbelt usage, the NTSB, we have a long history of promoting the use of seatbelts in all forms of vehicles. It's still too early at this point to know what the seatbelt usage was for both the driver and the victims, the occupants in the vehicle. But that's something that I'll specifically be looking at, definitely.
Were there seatbelts on the bus?
Typically, I believe that that seatbelts are this type of bus, but I haven't been inside it myself, so I can't tell you for sure.
Tony Aiello, CBS TV. Other crashes we've covered, there's a protocol where you do a toxicology on the driver to look for drugs, alcohol, anything that might have impaired their driving. Is that something that you would expect to be done here too?
So the question is, are we expecting the toxicology to be obtained? Yeah, I think that is something that the New York State Police is coordinating right now. So I don't know the status of, if they're going to acquire that information or not. Yes, ma'am.
Blaise Gomez, News 12 Hudson Valley. We saw NTSB investigators around the front of the bus where it is here in the back parking lot. Can you tell us a little bit about what you and your fellow investigators might be looking for?
Sure. Yeah, no, so that was me. No, so I wanted to walk around it because we do have plans to interview the victims, and I knew that I was coming to this as well. So just in my mind, I wanted to walk around and get an idea of what happened, because the only thing that I have seen was, the reporting that you people have done and what's been on the news. So it's always nice for me as an investigator to go take a look at, the bus, so you can go to the scene to try and see what happened, and then talk to the victims, because at least then I can frame better questions.
Can you describe the condition of the bus and the damages that it sustained?
I think there was probably significant damage, obviously on the side that it rolled onto, but that's about all I could observe from the exterior of the bus. Yes, sir.
It's been reported that, the possible cause of the accident is a front tire, faulty tire exploded, something like that. Can you say?
Oh, Sinner, thank you so much for gifting a membership. I was enthralled in the press conference. I really appreciate that. And Scorpio Sting, congratulations. Welcome to the Stoners. And no, not that kind of stoner. Hey, Kim O. Tazzy, Tom Rice, hello. Voodoo, I was watching your video earlier, even though I didn't say hi. I was lurking. Yeah, so this was from last night, I think probably just to give an update or to answer questions that people may have, because, they want to know what's going on, what's happening. But yeah, he didn't really have a whole lot of information, which I actually thought they would have more than what he told.
Anything with respect to that?
So the question is, was the cause a faulty tire? So I believe that the police have reported that there was a the left front tire, there was a failure. Certainly that could be a contributing cause, but the reason the NTSB gets involved in these types of accidents is to find out why it happened. So generally, in a lot of accidents, there's more than one cause. So there might be several factors that cause an accident like this. It definitely could be, yes, sir. Oh, okay, let's go back that way. Yes, sir.
The tire, you saw the tire. What's left of the tire? Is there any tread on the rim, or is it just a rim left? What is the condition of it?
I'll have to be honest, sir, I have not seen the tire yet.
You went to see the bus, no?
I did see the bus, correct, but I have not seen the tire.
So there's no tire on the rim then?
According to your experience, when an accident like this, with the tires, the condition of the bus shows that could be one of the causes of the accident, or something else maybe was happening at the time.
I'm sorry, what was?
When you see accident like this, that an accident was caused.
Hey, Phyllis, welcome.
For the bus. When you see the bus, is this something that could happen to the bus just because one tire fell off, or something that could be going on until the tire just fell?
Yeah, so what I'll say is vehicle dynamics can be difficult. So I think it's really premature at this point just to say like, oh, boom, it was a tire, that's what caused it, end of story. So I think, again, it's too early in this investigation to say, yeah, we know what's going on. And that's why we're here, and that's why it takes us a long time to investigate this. Yes, ma'am.
Laura Lane, Kawaja, Spectrum News 1, just kind of piggybacking off of that. In your experience as a lead investigator, how would you describe what you saw? You said you had a chance to kind of walk around. Really curious to get your thoughts on how you describe it.
Yeah, so I mean, the way I would describe it is that there was intrusion into the occupant space on the left side, the side that it rolled onto. So anytime that there's intrusion into your survivable space of a vehicle, that's obviously a cause for concern. So that's kind of what, as I walked around it, that's what struck me the most, I think.
Is it really bad compared to maybe some of the other accidents you've seen when it comes to highway safety? Or
Yeah, that's kind of hard to quantify right now. It's probably still a little bit too early. We still need to take some measurements and try and quantify some of that information.
I'm sorry, I'm just gonna grab this. I don't want to interrupt anybody.
No, it's mine.
Sorry.
Thanks. Yes, ma'am.
Are we back to the first part of the draft? I have a question about.
12's gonna be mad.
So anybody else need to grab their mics? So the tire is not in the wheel well. Was that tire thrown off during the crash, or was it taken off by investigators for evidence?
Oh, yeah. Again, it's still too early. I don't know everything surrounding that right now. Yeah.
When do you expect to have another update?
I'm not sure if we're going to be are we doing another update? No, we're not going to be doing another update.
Okay.
This is it. This is your one chance. Yeah, go ahead.
Is there anything, you've noted multiple ejections, is there anything to determine what caused those ejections? It's maybe a simple question, but.
No, I think it's still too early at this point, because anytime you get a type of rollover event, those are usually, again, complicated vehicle dynamics. And so trying to figure out why they were ejected, that you have to investigate a lot of things in that case, both the vehicle dynamics as well as the restraints. So it's, probably still too early.
Have you determined how many people were ejected?
We have not made that determination yet.
Was it ejected from the front window or the side windows?
Again, it's still a little too early. I've just seen the vehicle. I don't know a lot of those details yet.
Do you have a time frame on when you think?
I will say he did answer. We didn't know from my last live, but there were passengers that were ejected from the bus.
Hold on, let me just get this
You haven't been to the scene yet, but have you seen pictures of the scene? Can you describe or tell us what it looked like on the roadway with the tire marks? Actually, it was tire marks.
I have not been to the scene, sir. The only thing I've seen is the helicopter footage that one of you probably provided. So that's the best I've seen right now.
The
Hey,
marks in the
AMAC,
road
Heather BBT.
kind of indicate that there was no tire and it's just a rim.
I don't know. I have not seen the marks on the road. I guess it's way too early for me to say anything about that.
Thank you.
Any video cameras on the bus?
So I think, these types of buses typically do have cameras, but the NTSB is still in the process of trying to.
And I am going to have a video about that. There was an interior camera that caught the accident.
Acquire any of that information if it becomes available.
One more question.
Do you have a time frame on when you might interview the driver?
Do I have a time frame when I'm going to interview the driver? No, I don't have one just yet. Obviously, in these types of cases, the sooner that we can get to the driver, the better, just because memory tends to go the longer that from the event. Some of that.
They have not released the footage. I did make sure when I saw the video, because I always watch those types of things ahead of time. They do not show the video at this point. So, but they do talk about it.
Depends on, how she's doing it as far as her injuries, and then, when we might be have some time available to talk to her. All right, thanks. Appreciate it.
All right, so
we are learning more about.
So we're going to learn more about the victims. So again, one was the band director, who was 43 years old, and the other was a retired teacher who was chaperoning the band trip.
About the victims of the bus crash. CBS 2's Jennifer McLogan is live at Farmingdale High School. That's in Nassau County with the latest on this, Jennifer.
Good afternoon, Natalie. A close-knit community of 8,500 people
25 miles east of New York City, is coming together with love and prayers for those injured students and to pay tribute to lives lost. Gina Pelletier, the inspiring band director, and Beatrice Ferrari,
Hey, Kay.
the heart and soul of the marching band program.
She was a mom, a grandmother, my mother-in-law. She was like a mom to me. She was a pillar of the community. She loved band camp. I mean, she must have gone for 30 years. This was a trip. She looked forward to it every year. And, to have her go this way is it's so sad. We're all devastated. The whole family is.
A broad smile, that's the memory of the matriarch of music, 77-year-old Beatrice Ferrari, who lost her life among the students who adored her. At the home of the volunteer chaperone and retired history teacher, deliveries of food and flowers amid candles on the front porch. Her colleague, Farmingdale High School band director Gina Pelletier, was called the pulse of the community. Hours of dedication and a skilled musician, she was a proud single mother of a 2-year-old son. Little boy who we would see, and he was so cute and, really, really just wonderful family. And it's very, very upsetting. Former marching band student Christian Kalinowski.
She made school fun, she made life entertaining, and she brought a lot of joy to a lot of people, whether they were in the band or not. Gina was a high note, so even if you were a senior and you didn't want to be there for the 9th period, you got to end school on a high note. And that really resonated, with all of us.
I actually just got off work, and I don't know, I just felt like I had to do something, so I just picked up some flowers.
Very, very sad, very sad. I couldn't sleep all night, I think about the kids, families, parents, teachers.
All upcoming after-school activities have been canceled today and over the weekend, including the football game. The Crisis Center is again open today and will be so also on Saturday and Sunday. Reporting live from Farmingdale High School, Jennifer McLogan, CBS 2 News. Natalie, to you.
Jennifer, such a tough day, but what an outpouring of support. Thank you so much. And we have a team of reporters following every development in this story, and we will continue our coverage tonight.
All right, so moving to the
State Department of Transportation.
So this is the video where they talk about the interior bus camera captured deadly crash. It immediately lost control, source says.
Called Regency an unacceptable operator in the spring of 2023 because at one point, more than 25% of its fleet was out of service.
Wow.
Regency had also announced in July that it bought a new bus from a local company that was going out of business. The charter bus heading to band camp from Farmingdale High School reportedly rolled over 5 times into a...
Oh, wow. So it reportedly rolled over 5 times until it came to a rest. I cannot imagine what the survivors are going through. The trauma, the fear.
Ravine off I-84. The vehicle looks very similar to a bus Regency Transportation Limited announced it was buying back in July with a Facebook post. When we called the Wisconsin-based company to ask about the bus, a woman told us, "The office is closed today. This is the answering service. We're not taking numbers." The crash killed the high school's band director and a retired teacher. A veteran law enforcement source with knowledge of the investigation told us the tire blew. There's video from the interior of the bus. It was a very quick event. There was no chance to right the vehicle. It immediately lost control. With the blown tire now one focus of the investigation, we learned from the state's Department of Transportation website that Regency buses had more than 15 inspections between the spring of 2022 and spring of 2023. 5 out-of-service buses were among the vehicles inspected. And when it comes to charter bus crashes in the last decade, different causes were involved. In August last year, 2 people were killed when a double-decker charter bus lost control on an exit ramp of the New Jersey Turnpike. In 2018, Journey bus lines hit the overpass of the Southern
Oh
State
my
Parkway
God.
near
I remember
Eagle
that
Avenue,
one.
with students on board coming home from a trip to Europe. It should never have been on the parkway to begin with.
And then I just see like the roof just start to completely cave in.
That crash did not involve fatalities. But in 2017, a speeding driver from Dahlia buses in Flushing was captured on surveillance, smashing into a Q20 bus on Northern Boulevard, killing a pedestrian, a city bus passenger, and himself.
Holy crap.
Dahlia wasn't eager to talk back then. The year before, another Dahlia bus got involved in a crash during snowy conditions on I-95, heading to Mohegan Sun Casino in Connecticut. The most deadly crash of recent note happened in 2011, when a worldwide tours bus heading for Chinatown smashed into a highway sign in the Bronx, ripping the bus almost in two and killing 15 people. Some passengers said the driver nodded off. He passed a sobriety test. The initial reports about this week's I-84 crash indicate the driver had no time to react. And the National Transportation Safety Board will ultimately write a final report after investigating with New York State Police.
Okay, I think
tonight the remnants of Hurricane Lee lashed.
Yep, that was my last video. So I have 2 articles that I'm gonna go over, and then we will say goodnight. Excuse me. So this article was from yesterday from New York 4 NBC. Farmingdale band bus crash investigation continues. 5 students still critical. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. New York State and federal officials are continuing the investigation into the rollover crash of a charter bus on Thursday that killed 2 teachers and sent dozens of students from a high school band to the hospital. The crash occurred just after 1 p.m. Thursday on I-84 near the Orange County town of Wawayanda, about 45 miles northwest of New York City. Governor Kathy Hochul said at a press conference it was, quote, likely that a faulty front tire contributed to the accident, although this is still under investigation. Federal investigators from the NTSB began examining the wreckage of the crash on Friday. Our goal is to find out what happened, why it happened, and to make safety recommendations to reduce the chance that this sort of accident never happens again. Gina Pelletieri, 43, of Massapequa, and Beatrice Ferrari, 77, of Farmingdale, were identified as the victims killed in the crash. Pelletieri, a music teacher at the high school, was in charge of the student band, and Ferrari was a retired teacher. Flags will fly at half-staff in Nassau County beginning Saturday evening in memory of Pelletieri and Ferrari, according to the county executive Bruce Blakeman. They were amazing people, said Mia Hayes, a Farmingdale High School junior. She was a huge light for the school, and I just feel a tremendous loss for all of us. Excuse me. And this picture is a candle memorial set up in front of Farmingdale High School on September 22nd, 2023. The memorial is to honor students after a fatal bus crash in Wawayanda, New York on September 21st, 2023. And again, there are still 5 individuals who are in critical condition at various hospitals. The bus was one of 6 in a caravan taking the marching band, color guard, and dancers from Farmingdale High School on Long Island on a beloved annual trip to a camp in Greeley in northeastern Pennsylvania. The bus crashed about 30 miles away from the Pine Forest camp where the students were headed. 18 people, 16 students and 2 adults, remained hospitalized as of midday Friday, according to Blakeman. And we did find out that 5 individuals remain in the hospital. Grief counselors were on hand at the school on Friday and will be there through next week to help students and school staff handle the loss and trauma from the crash. A memorial was set up outside the school and continues to grow. The bus involved in the crash was chartered by Regency Transportation and new to the company's fleet, according to the Department of Transportation. The state agency said the bus was inspected in August when it was purchased by Regency and passed the semi-annual inspection. The bus was also subjected to 4 random inspections over the last 2 years and passed each one. Hum, who is the NTSB investigator that just spoke at the press conference, had said investigators had not yet spoken to the female driver of the bus, but they plan to. Representatives of the company have not responded to requests for comment. Hey, Remy. Hey, Julianne Harris. Yes. Wise Angel, thank you. There were 6 critical the other day, so there is positive outcome on that individual. Yes. I don't believe that they're included in the fatalities because on today's Saturday, on Thursday when I did my live, there were 2 confirmed. So it's possible that they were released from the hospital, or they're no longer critical. They could be stable. So the last article I have is from CBS New York, and this is about the Farmingdale community. Daler Strong. Farmingdale community comes together after deadly charter bus crash. And again, this was from yesterday. The Farmingdale community is coming together after Thursday's tragic and deadly charter bus crash. Friday was a sad day for both students at Farmingdale High School and the entire Farmingdale community. Families and students have been placing flowers and balloons outside of the school. Some students who were on other buses and witnessed the tragic accident came to school Friday. They said they wanted to support their fellow students and band members. We're all trying to stay positive, Senior Elijah Davis said. Just 3 weeks into the school year, students and staff at Farmingdale High School on Long Island are doing their best to cope with tragedy. It was scary. I knew a lot of people who were on the bus, all of my friends who are thankfully okay, but it was definitely scary. Emotions at the high school are high, prayers are up, and candles across, green balloons, ribbons, and flowers are all around campus. It's a lot of mixed emotions. It happened really fast, Senior Naomi Contreras said. Authorities say a charter bus carrying dozens of students from the school and several adults went off an Orange County highway and down an embankment Thursday afternoon, critically injuring several students. They're all good. They're all awake and moving. I mean, some of my friends are still in the hospital. A few got released yesterday, Mia said. 5 of the juniors were on the trip. 2 of them were in the bus. One of them has been discharged from Westchester Medical Center. The other one, please keep her in your prayers. She was medevaced this morning to a specialty hospital here on Long Island, Farmingdale Mayor Ralph Exton said. Sadly, 77-year-old Beatrice Ferrari, a retired teacher who was a chaperone, and the school's band director, Gina Pelletieri, affectionately known as Miss P, lost their lives. Everyone in Farmingdale, we will always remember Miss P, Elijah said. She was a huge light for this school, and I just feel like it's like a tremendous loss for all of us, Mia said. We decided to bring flowers and to just remember Miss P as an inspiration to the band community, and it's going to be really hard. Daniel Aldieri, Ferrari's son-in-law, told CBS New York, she was a pillar of the community. She loved band camp. I mean, she must have gone for 30 years. This was a trip she looked forward to every year, and to have her go this way is so sad. We're all devastated. The whole family is. Ferrari's grandson was on another bus in the caravan. The bus that crashed was one of 6 in a caravan carrying musicians and dancers headed to a band camp in Pennsylvania. The superintendent for Farmingdale Schools sent out a message to parents. Daler Strong is alive and well right now, and we are working together to support our students and staff as we take the time to heal. As students find comfort in one another during this time, Farmingdale superintendent and mayor say together, the school and community will get through this. We are praying for the kids that are in the emergency room hospitals. Grief counselors were at the school for students and staff all day Friday. All after-school activities, including a football game, were canceled for the weekend. I think that the school did a fantastic job with this. I think that they've had a lot of people come in to help us, a lot of grief counselors, a lot of the social workers. I think they've done a great job with this, Mia said. Dozens spent Friday night silently passing through a memorial outside the school's front entrance, embracing and crying on each other's shoulders. I'm in a state where I haven't fully come to terms with what has happened. It was like a dream, Senior Santino Talavera said. Santino was on bus 2 behind bus 1. He took Friday off, saying he's still feeling numb after what he saw. I stood up, and the bus was already in the ditch on the side, and it was just a shocking sight to see. Video taken at a football game just a week before Thursday's horrific crash shows Santino conducting the pep band alongside Pelletieri. She motivated us to find that passion. She really helped the band feel motivated to play the music and realize it's not all about the hierarchy of I'm the band teacher and I'm conducting. Heartfelt messages were written for both Ferrari and Pelletieri on hearts placed on crosses at the memorial. Uniting as a community and confiding in one another is what we should take from this, Santino said. School is back in session for students on Tuesday. So that is everything I have for you. And Queen Bella, I thought the same thing. That poor woman's grandson who, it makes you wonder, they were on different buses. Why? Well, we can never understand, but I definitely agree that it's just awful all around. And I'm hoping that those that are still critical will be well on their way to recovery, and that hopefully we do find out more information in the near future, if not eventually. Oh, and Selena, you're welcome. Thank you so much for saying that. Thank you for so very much for covering this. Yes. Yep, and Kathy's already gone, but yes, Kathy P does have a live that was starting at 7, and unbeknownst to us, we scheduled our lives at the same time, so I had told her I'll just go live at 6 because, I'm going to be able to get ready, so. Oh, hey, Sandy Jersey girl, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm not doing as much as I want because I'm back to work, but I appreciate that. Hey, Sans. Tennille, Suzanne. Hello, glad you're here. Oh, okay, Wise Angel. If H&H, when she's done, maybe check. Could pull up a pic or two of our trip buses in the UK. I used to hate going on long-haul trips with my 6th form students. Okay, so what do I... UK... Okay, so... Oh, they have, what are those things that... Okay, let me share this, because there's things that stick out from the front, so... Oh, those are mirrors. That's so strange that... And I'm guessing these are what they normally look like. So Wise Angel can probably verify whether I have the correct looking buses or not. I find it interesting that the mirrors are on these, like, they're not side view mirrors, they're front view mirrors, which I guess it's kind of the same thing, but see you, Queen Bella. Thanks for hanging out. Wing mirrors, thank you. I've never seen those before. So that's a big difference between American buses and European. All right, y'all. Well, I am going to say goodnight. It was a quick live, but one that I felt I needed to do. And I was planning on doing it yesterday, but as you know, my live went a little bit longer than expected. And I wanted to be sure to do this story right. So I moved it to today. So with that being said, thank you so much for being here. I am not planning on going live tomorrow unless something significant happens in the world. So with that being said, I hope you have a great rest of your night. And until next time, I will see you all on the flip side.